welcome to Ideagen TV. Today I am thrilled and honored to have with us Sheri Hashemi, Communications Systems Director for Engineering at L3 Harris. Sheri, welcome.
Thank you, George. So excited to be having another conversation with you. It's always just so insightful and joyous to be able to have another seat at the table with you, George.
Well, likewise, Sheri. It's, changing the world is not easy, and you're doing it at L3. And with that, I'd like to launch right in is what's happening at L3 and what are some new things that are coming in to play as we lead into 24?
All right. So really focusing on, building that top talent as director of engineering and having multifunctional roles. It's just the strong focus is being able to build those teams, being able to get the diverse thoughts at the table, creating seats at the table, and really seeking out, the thought leaders and the engineers who are going to help push us through some of these challenging times with top end products that are going to meet our customers' needs. And what's coming up in 24 is we have some really great development programs that we're working through, and some research that I'm super excited to see my team get into and help them make it through what's next for us in 24.
Absolutely exciting. And so sustainability, it's a buzzword today. Sustainability is a wide-ranging topic across the planet. What are some, Sheri, key aspects of sustainability that you're not only focused on, but solving?
So I'm still on my PhD, all but dissertation right now, and I've made a refinement to my dissertation topic to do sustainability for air cargo for supply chain management, and using resilience to help drive sustainability. So sustainability to me is the ability to endure, that ability to keep going and keep moving, and resilience is the ability to come back and to resolve and to just be able to survive when the disruptions come through. And so I think, those are two very key pieces for what we're coming up with, especially if we talk about Sustainable Development Goal 9 for resilient infrastructure. And by having resilience and having the ability to overcome, you can have the ability to endure.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible and inspiring at the same time. And so big data, we've got this powerful stream of data in companies like L3 Harris. And it seems to me that it's plausible to believe that there are resources to solve the sustainability issues of today utilizing data. What do you believe, Sheri, needs to be done to implement the solutions to solve for these issues, and why? I guess the question just becomes, why hasn't it happened already?
I think that there's barriers currently right now for the why piece. I think that there's barriers between where that data is coming from and then essentially really understanding or really being able to optimize how to use the data. And sometimes you can end up in analysis paralysis, or you think you don't have enough data, or you think you have too much data. And really, I think just understanding that inaction or delayed action can almost be worse than no action. And as you continue to move forward, you can pull more data and you can get more data and you can get the actuals of what you're working within, and you have the opportunity to refine as you move forward. And maybe that's one of the things that might hold people up, is that if you pick a path and you pick the processes and the steps that you're using, and not necessarily leaving opportunity for that incoming assessment and being able to adapt and staying rigid. And so I think one of the means for being able to do this is, like your work with Ideagen and the cross-sector collaboration, is being able to get those perspectives on how to look at that problem. And I think another means for being able to help resolve and solve some of these challenges is really leveraging academia with industry and using some of those top minds that are in colleges who have the ability to focus on the issues, the singularity, and not be distracted by maybe some of the other challenges that are on the plate at the time when you're in the industry, because there's so much going on. And I think being able to not only go cross sector, but also from industry to academia to be able to leverage the brains and the minds and the diverse perspectives to go tackle the problems, because the data is there and the data is now becoming more and more available. I think it's just how we tap into it is where we can end up helping ourselves move forward faster.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that connecting of the dots is what is so incredibly powerful. And so, in terms of more sustainable practices and how they can help societies not only maintain their outputs, but also really enhance their overall productivity and impact through new and improved innovations, where does this all go? Where are we going in this area?
Well, I think what sustainability ultimately is going to lead to is stability. And right now we've gone from a phase of uncertainty to sustained uncertainty, and we recognize we're going to have more global events. Those are going to come through. We're going to have natural disasters. Even just right now, I mean, I think Iceland is preparing for another volcanic eruption, and Mount St. Helens is rumbling in the background. And we just had a storm here, and there's just going to be natural events that are going to continue to occur, and people-based events as well. And by being sustainable and being able to focus on enduring, you create stability. And if you create stability, then you give yourself a platform where you can continue to move forward and actually make have some of that certainty that might not otherwise be present. Because if you can endure, then you're going to be able to continue. And if you can continue, then you can make choices to help cycle back and feed that through.
Exactly. And so, in terms of the importance, going a step further, the importance of a resilient supply chain. Why is this so important? Why is a resilient supply chain so important for industry and infrastructure, where there have been potential weaknesses that have become apparent? And then how can these be addressed to bolster additional capacity and capability?
Well, the importance of resilient supply chains is, I think, visible through the numbers. 35% of world trade is moved through air cargo. So focusing specifically in my area on air cargo, 35% of world trade is attributed to air cargo, moved via air cargo. And that's, by weight, it's a very small percentage compared to shipping or trains or truck. But the value is so momentous. And, what we saw from COVID, about 50%, and this is domestically here to the US, 50% of air cargo was sent via belly cargo in commercial flights. And so when all of the flights ended up stopping, you lost so much capacity, and you weren't able to move the goods. And then when goods don't move, you're struggling with getting key critical items, because that's why you pick air cargo. They're sensitive items. It's either time sensitive or environmentally sensitive. And so by being able to be resilient, you can react to those disruptions, and you can help keep the flow of goods and people and data and information moving that might not otherwise have the ability to do so. And so that's why resilience is really key, is like we were talking before, disruptions are going to continue to happen. And so how do you help yourself be more resilient? And I think that's in the data. And I think data-driven solutions help create some certainty around the ambiguity of what's going on in our environment. And with the ability to pull in from AI, I think we just have so much more available to us in terms of processing power, perspectives, computing, and focusing on the data can help us make data-driven decisions.
And so AI is ubiquitous at the moment. Everyone, even people that don't even remotely understand it are talking about AI. And understanding AI is so critically important. It's already having, I think we all agree, it's already having a significant impact on businesses across the planet. Sheri, where do you see, from where you sit at L3 Harris and beyond, where do you see AI as having the the greatest, the largest impact in terms of expanding what we've been chatting about today, which is sustainable capabilities and practices?
I think it's from the access at this point. When computers first came out, when some of these tools started to hit the market, you had to have a lot of resources in order to be able to attain them, use them, maintain them, upgrade them. And now it's so incredibly accessible to individuals. And I think that it being accessible at the individual level and not necessarily in specific groups and sectors, it creates a more even level playing field that can turn around and provide greater successes at levels that might not otherwise be expected, anticipated, or even in the past of what's been able to happen. And so having that access, I think, and it being this accessible now to everyone creates that opportunity to be super impactful at all the levels.
Sheri Hashemi, L3 Harris, changing the world. Sheri, what is your final call to action for the Ideagen global audience on Ideagen TV?
Call to action is create seats at the table. Create seats at the table for people who otherwise wouldn't be in those conversations, and make space and help foster the cross-sector collaboration and the perspectives that we need to solve these problems.
Sheri Hashemi, what an honor. Communication Systems Director for Engineering at L3 Harris. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for your belief in the Ideagen global mission. And thank you for all you're doing to change the world.
Thank you, George.